Attiya from
EY.
Attiya from
Is it from EY? Let's say EY.
EY. So
Yeah.
Attiya from EY, and then so later on you will just explain more about yourself, okay?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, can I? Okay.
Mm.
Maybe I should copy the question first. Oh my god! If we're live, people are going to see me being all
Wait,
glamorous.
is it live already?
Yeah, it's live already. It's live already. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's okay, like it's okay. I
Oh,
want to say, have you been with TCC at any point of time before?
I mean, no, but I've crossed paths with Hilmi and Wan so many times because this community is pretty tiny.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And Lukman as
Uh,
well. Yeah.
Lukman is the okay. Lukman
Yeah.
is
I mean, now I work with Jannah in
uh
MCLA.
huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
That's nice. Okay, hold on.
Oh yeah,
Oh my,
Kanisha's my friend. So
sorry.
Kanisha?
Oh, she's your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's really. I think it's a small world, especially when we are
So
in the like same community, right?
yeah,
And
correct.
everyone like is bound
Know
to
each
meet.
other. Or like you kind of know people who know other
Yep.
people.
Correct, correct.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. I'm going to record.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Let's go. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay, hi guys, welcome to TCC Chat. I am AJ and I'm taking over for today's episode. So with me, we have Attiya. Okay, and Attiya is an associate in EY Strategy and Operations team, which is also referred to as EY-Parthenon. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so welcome Attiya.
Hi guys. Thanks AJ for having me. Just to share a bit more about myself first. I am Attiya. I'm from EY-Parthenon. I work as an associate, but I mean generally it is known as a business consulting role. What we do is a lot more in terms of helping business clients with certain issues that they are facing. That it can be ranging from things like whether they should enter specific markets or whether how we can help them to improve their profits, how we can help them to like in their process of merging and integrating with other companies that they are acquiring, etc. I've only been here for about a year, almost a year, and I've been involved in projects focused more on cost reduction for a company in the food manufacturing industry as well as the oil and gas industry. It's been
Mhm.
a lot of learning and a lot of it's just really a lot of experiences. I've seen things that I could never imagine seeing if I was not in this space. So it's been a very interesting journey. It's not always been easy, but it's been very enriching, alhamdulillah.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so you're actually this is well, we had a very quick warm up session before this. You mentioned that this is your second job. It's
Yes.
your second job. So how was the previous job and the current job different considering your line or your field of expertise?
Okay. So in my previous job, just for context, I was a research assistant in one of the research centers in NUS. I was there focusing a lot on projects related to early childhood development. So it was really more interacting with people. Right now, I'm interacting a lot with business clients in my day-to-days when I'm actually on a project. And the pace of work is very different in that a research project in an academic space takes like a few years. So there's a lot of things that you need to do, but it's very spaced out. And there's a lot of things that you have to navigate around in terms of like, let's say, submitting business proposals, conducting pilots, etc. In the business space, it's a lot of really like you get the data, you churn it out, make sense of it, and then you revert back to client, and then you can go back and forth and then see what the next best step is. And
Mm-hmm.
usually that process takes like within a day or two. And the rigor is very different. The nature of the work is also very different. But I would like to say that both in both spaces, I'm doing what I really enjoy, which is research work. And I think research is so dynamic in that it fits everywhere. Like it's
Yep.
a lot of like you having to figure out what is happening on the ground and then try to make sense of it to help the people in that area. So like back in my previous job, there was a lot of understanding low income families that have young kids and transnational
Mm-hmm.
families with the same. And so it was a lot of qualitative interviews, having that conversation with them to understand their stories. And here it's about making sense of the data that clients have, and to kind of talk to them about what kind of problems they're facing, and to actually see it firsthand myself and to help them with that. So in that sense, both involve a certain degree of research work, and that is what I'm extremely passionate about. So it's very interesting to see how it can be applied in different settings.
Okay, so I'm just going to divert a bit from the main question. Later, we're going to go back to the main question. So you mentioned about research is very diverse. Okay, how are we going to put into context if, let's say, for the youth who are learning like research, who are like yourself, and they want to embark in this journey, is there any way for them to know that, is there a particular like research area? Because I'm, how to say, let me try to like rephrase properly again. So research is very diverse. How do I find the right fit for me? If let's
Okay.
say I want to go inside it, yeah.
I think it's always a journey of discovering what you like and what you don't like. And I think in school, like for me in secondary school, we did a bit of project work, which does in like that's where research really started for me, like being involved in small group projects with my classmates and like researching about certain topics in like English or
Yeah.
science, whatever. And then in JC it was PW, and in university there's definitely a lot more opportunities for that. And I think during that process, you really identify, I mean, beyond just research, you identify with certain issues that resonate with you, and also certain topics that you have a lot more questions about, and certain techniques in research that you want to learn about along the way as you realize that, oh, actually I could have done this certain research process better, and then you would want to learn. And I think when it comes to the area of research, it does take some time. I have no one right answer because I think everyone's journey is very different. Like for me,
Mhm.
I majored in economics in university, and I never imagined doing that in JC, but I did it anyway, and it turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot of, I mean, my friend would have, like, my friend always says, like, it's always best to start off with what you don't like and to know to cancel that out. And then that you can try out other things and see what resonates with you or not.
Mm.
Ultimately, I find that it's always very important to find meaning in everything that you do, even in research work.
Right.
So for me, like, let's say research in my previous job, it really was meaningful because I was interacting with people that whose stories I was definitely not familiar with, and it was important to understand their experiences so that, like, at least, like, my platform as a research assistant can be that avenue for them to kind of get their story out there. And
Mm-hmm.
in this space for businesses, it's a lot of understanding what makes a certain solution sustainable for the longer run. As much as, yes, it is profit driven, I think that to a certain degree is very important. And identifying a way to figure that out would definitely make research more like meaningful, like especially like if you're doing research in the social impact space, for
Yep.
example, knowing how to make it sustainable for the long run would, like, wow, it's a good like puzzle piece that you would need, you
Yep.
know? Yeah.
Yep. Okay, very nice. So Attiya, looking at you, you're a very young, lovely girl. Okay, so with the current COVID situation,
Yeah.
how has that actually impact your profession currently?
Okay, so um, business, I think all across the board generally has been slow. That is the same in the consulting space because we rely a lot on our clients to come in with their business problems, and then we go over and like help them out with it, right? At this point in time, they are themselves facing like falls in revenue, etc., because of the COVID situation, and I mean that would definitely trickle down on us in that we will not have much projects to be embarking on at this point in time.
Right.
Although I would say that based on how things have been like for my team at work, they do foresee that in the next half of the year, things will start picking up again, in that there will definitely be a lot more opportunities to be engaged with clients because they also want to figure out how they can recover from this episode. So right now, a lot of the time, we actually focus on building up COVID thought leadership pieces that we can give over to our networks, and also like be engaged in doing business proposals for potential clients. So I think that is good in the sense that at least you're keeping yourself engaged, and like while at the same time just trying to make sure that there are things in the pipeline for the next run. A lot of consulting firms, I believe, would be doing this at this point in time. Yeah,
Mm.
because as you can see, I think if you can Google up like different consulting firms, a lot of them have top pieces out on COVID-19 itself for different industries already. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna look at like those young professionals who are about to enter this industry.
Mhm.
How different is it compared to like when I'm going to apply for a job now, and then if let's say after COVID,
Okay.
do you think there's going to be any difference, or how is it going to be like?
Mhm. So, from my understanding, we are still definitely hiring, although it really depends on that particular team's manpower needs at this point in time. Because even for us, there are definitely times at which working from home has been a bit difficult in that we are not very engaged with work, and because there's nothing much in the pipeline. So that might affect demand for manpower at this point. But what I can say is that there are consulting firms out there who would definitely still be looking to hire because they predict that the second half of 2020, then the pipeline will come in, clients will come in, and then they would definitely want a team ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Okay,
would
then
say that,
okay.
sorry?
Yeah, you saying?
Okay. So I would say that for those who are worried about like the job availabilities in this industry, I would say that I think consulting will definitely still have demand, for sure. It's just a matter of whether it is slow or whether they're like whether it is slow at this point or whether it is there's a lot of demand. So what I would say is that if you're looking for a job here, keep looking out at the job sites and also like use this time to really like just prepare for those interviews and to brush up on your resumes because it does take some time to prepare for those interviews. So since you have the time now, like yeah, why not use it?
Okay, we're gonna build up on that question. Okay, so now that we have time and we need to work on our resumes and then go and check out for like job openings as well as interviews, what are the soft skills do you think that you would advise for these young professionals to equip themselves before they actually go on to applying and stuff like that?
Okay, soft skills. I think what helped me out was really figuring out my sense of purpose or at least what are the things that resonate with me. And what I would advise is that you try and picture yourself in that particular job you're applying for and seeing how your sense of purpose or your sense of like motivation is aligned with that. Because I think at the end of the day, what job recruiters are looking for is that sense of conviction. So, I mean, if you find that there is a bigger purpose beyond just doing that job that you can get out of it and you can articulate that during the interview, that would definitely be helpful. And I think it's also about being aware that you
Mm-hmm.
have a lot to offer as an individual. So think of yourself as like a brand or a package and figure out how you can really like showcase that during the interview itself. Like maybe have a conversation with your friends and just practice with them and then maybe they can point out something about yourself that you didn't really think was worth pointing out to someone else, but it actually it really like struck out to them. So yeah, like just think through what are the things that are important to you, what are the things you can offer. I think it's also helpful to think of like to articulate that you're also self-aware. So think
Yeah.
of things that you would like to improve on, think of things that you are not necessarily good in, and seeing how you can improve those. And if they do ask you these kind of questions during the interview, then you can articulate those and to
Mm.
show that you are working on it, that you are aware these things exist, but you have the sense of awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's sense of awareness is very important. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
a very good skill set as well, not just in terms of like job. And like being aware of your surrounding or people, I think it's also a very good thing to have. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Attiya, she's young, she looks lovely, and her top is really very in line with her quote that she actually gave us. So the quote that you gave us, that be like the flower that gives its fragrance to even the hand that crushes it, by Imam Ali. Now, why do you choose that quote, Attiya?
So I think what what I find happiness is trying to figure out how I can do good wherever I go. Um, then sometimes there are always going to be difficult circumstances that you face, like let's say in jobs or in life. And ultimately, what is important is that you give the best that you can, like the best version of yourself. And at the same time, try to make sure that when you leave, people don't feel bad and that you left without causing more harm
Mm-hmm.
than that how it was before. So I think for me it's like let's say for example when I'm having a tough day at work, then it's just about taking a step back and then just going back to like say like how can I be better. I think that itself is leaving like leaving with good taste, you know, like just knowing, like just articulating to your team members that
Mm-hmm.
hey, I understand that I did not perform today. How can I do better? And like, is there any way that I can be of value, more value to the team? I think that in any essence, wherever you go, is important, whether it's work or like in family with your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice. I feel that I could learn a thing for two from your sharing as well. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you, Attiya, for coming on board on TCC Chat. And for those of you who are watching and viewing, do check us out at tertiary.cc as well.
Thank you for
Okay,
having me.
welcome. Have a great day, Attiya.
You
Assalamualaikum. See you
too.
soon.